Something like that.
You know what's funny? There's a Norwegian name. Odd, O-D-D, is a Norwegian name.
That's
Is a
dope.
man name.
That's
Yeah.
so sick.
And there's also a Norwegian name called Even, which is a male name. Yeah,
Even?
but it's spelled E-V-E-N, like even. So I could actually call my son Odd Even, which would be awesome.
Wow, you thought this through. If he is to take care of his baby, we don't know, but here we are on Fern Valley. In the bottom right-hand corner, it is Fikarip Arthur.
I'm gonna let you two cast for a little bit.
At the top left, our other Korean, our Zerg player from Team Dust. It's Mamuri.
Okay, I'm gonna mute my microphone here.
Alright, see Ziphius. Everyone say bye to Ziphius. Bye, Ziphius.
Bye, Zephius. Say hello to Mrs. Zephius for me.
You mean Mrs. Askson?
Isaacson.
I don't know if we can pronounce it properly, but here we are, guys, on Fern Valley. It's going to be the first time today this has been played. Not sure how common this map is, but I'm guessing it's not because it's not the other map that we always play. Period.
In all seriousness, though, Zephius' wife is really hot.
I think he can still hear you, and he just smiled. I've never seen your wife, Ziphius, and I'm sorry for your loss, but there we go. Finn is gonna take... I love how you can even see him, like, he's... Oh.
Oh my goodness. Mamuri went pool first. This is a Forge expand.
Ooh, first aggression definitely is possible, and you do have these kind of little thing. You have the 5 minerals, 16 mineral patch to wall off slightly, and I'd love to see this in StarCraft 2 more, just so you'd see like a Ling Rush, then a drone be pulled, like 4 drones be pulled, just to mine it out and then go through the hole. It'd be kind of cool, I feel like.
Oh goodness.
Arthur, as you mentioned, will be going for that Forge Fast expand, and I mean, these are the best 2 players in the tournament so far. I'm sure we're going to see the Corsair play again out of Arthur. He loves doing that, and I'm really curious to see where Mamuri's going to go with this, whether he's going to try to go more into the Lurker style, or, as we've seen him a couple times, just go really heavy Hydra after realizing, you know what, I can't survive versus Reavers. I got to buy myself time, and maybe Mamuri's going to, sorry, not Mamuri, maybe Arthur is going to realize that and try to do something else with it. But here's this pressure, Ling pressure.
I'll take it as a compliment, Finn. It's okay.
I had no idea. I actually have the stream open on my other monitor. As weird as that is.
Yeah. No, yeah, because Mamuri showed that he was able to beat Franskar, but it wasn't easy for him. He had a game where he lost, and Arthur is I think one step above Franskar in skill, although they're fairly close. So to see what Mamuri can do against Arthur is going to be very interesting. Arthur finished his gas, but he's not mining. Okay, there we go.
I like that Mamuri is poking around with his lings a little bit to make sure there's no pylons or cannons or whatever it is third. Because he didn't have vision there for ages.
Well, Arthur is showing Franskar how you are safe versus early Zerglings. Just wall off completely.
And have an extra mineral line, or mineral patch just happens to be there. Always is helpful. Always is helpful.
Wow, he really just, like, okay, there we go.
Yeah, I was like, wow, is he going to finish the final pylon? But no, won't quite be. Cancels that. For now, Arthur is just keeping his probe, and as you mentioned, Ziphius, as long as that probe is microed, technically as long as the lings are microed, they can kill the probe, but for now, this probe is going to be, oh, never mind.
It's going to stay alive. Oh, by the way, I actually made this map, but I made it based off of a Brood War map that no one ever played. It was like just a very unknown community map, and ported that over and made some changes. Dude,
Zephius, go ahead and stroke your E-penis. It's totally fine.
Yeah, it's a beautiful map. I'm so happy with it. It's the best thing I've ever made, and I'm a genius, basically, yeah.
I stroke my E-penis all the time. What about you?
No, I'm pretty humble.
I wasn't talking about that. Mamuri will be going Spire, of course, just to get those Scourges out. Still no Stargate, actually, from Arthur, which is what we've normally been seeing, and it would be cool to see him switch it up a little, maybe go for that ground attack, because he is getting +1 ground in charge. And, I mean, Mamuri's going for a quick third, and that third is incredibly exposed. I'm actually really worried.
And of course,
Yeah,
in the chat, Nanashi Starcraft says, Starbo, heart, woohoo! Absolutely. Just figured I'd give him a shout out. Anyway, as you were saying, Zephyus?
Yeah, that third base that Drenok mentioned is quite interesting because it's closest in distance. It's like a really good third base from mech, because it's a very short distance from your natural to your main that you have to defend with siege tech. But for Zerg, I feel like maybe the other third base that only has one ramp is easier to take because you can hold it with a couple of lurkers. So it is an interesting choice of a third base, definitely. It might be because he wants to go for more mobile style, maybe more like mass Circling Hydra style, and that makes this third base perhaps better.
The cocaine lings are very good. Very good.
I'd like to point out that Arthur is actually skipping Corsairs entirely.
Oh wow, look at that. Well, that's interesting though, because if Mamuri picks up on that, he can just make a group, and he does pick up on that because the Overlord is seeing everything, then he can just make a group of yeah, and he's going to do that, making Mutalisk perfect counter. You know, what's insane with, especially with Brewer, I remember, is Mutalisks are not necessarily the best counter to Mad Zealots, because the Zealots are just so freaking strong. It's like making Voiders versus Roaches, like it takes forever to kill them.
Actually,
not only that, but Zealots are super fast, like super fast here. You just easily run away from them, but we'll see. Yeah, what were we about to say, Finn?
I forgot what I was going to say, never mind. We do have Zealots coming in. They do scout the mutas, so...
Oh,
that's good,
gets
but...
A couple of those. Oh, it gets the choke there! Oh, wow. Very well played from Brewer.
Amazing.
And now, you know, look, Arthur is forced to, you know, make Archons, maybe some Dragoons. We removed the Stalker from the game. I know people hate that, but we did. So he can't make Stalkers to defend versus these Mutalisks. So it's going to be more tricky for him. And that's one of the reasons they were removed, so Mutalisk becomes more viable in this matchup, actually.
There are some cannons, though. But mutas can, with some good micro, start picking up these Templar Archives. Archon says, none of that! Oh!
Oh, man, decimate the Scourge. The Scourges are so ready to kill something. Sadly, they'll not be able to. We're on the control group with the mutas, and they will eventually die here. Arthur, 2 cannons in each main. Actually, he's got a total of 6 cannons. He is prepared for anything.
So,
I feel like Arthur is just going to put himself into a phenomenal position right here, taking 0 damage, killing them, and he's going to be able to move out soon. I just got to say, this natural base technically is low ground, or maybe it's high ground. This is trippy.
Sasaknui... What are you trying to say? Drenok?
I wasn't trying to say anything. I literally just copy-pasted Alpha Squad to look cool. That's all I did. All I did was copy-paste it in a different manner.
Oh, man.
So since it's Korean letters, it has to be a word. So what word is it, Finn?
It's not.
It has to be.
No, like, it's not.
I'm just kidding with you, man.
Obviously, I speak Korean. I guess we...
I'm sorry, this is so good, because he forced out Archons, right? And you don't want to make Archons. You want to have High Templar with Storm, especially versus Hydralisks. And Archons are so bad versus Hydras. Hydras are basically the only Zerg unit that can deal with Archons. Like, seriously, the only unit. Like, Archons are even good versus Ultralisks. So,
actually,
this is so nice.
Actually, Guardians.
Okay, yeah.
Guardians are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Mutas in the main actually trying to do some damage, by the way, to Arthur, but all of them die. Mamuri loses.
Meanwhile, Arthur actually tried to do some damage on the third base of Mamuri with some Zealots, but they also died. So it's all a very sad story, really. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet. They just all die.
It happens over the period of like 2 days, and everyone dies. It's just brutal.
Yes.
Honestly, the story of Romeo and Juliet really sucks.
Yeah, it's just a guy that whines all the time about girls.
Yeah.
And then they kill each other.
Oh man, the Hydra gotta be... Oh, never mind, the Hydras don't have to be really careful, I guess, actually, engaging into that. Not quite enough lings here, especially when the Zealots and the High Templars are with us. As you mentioned, Ziphius, once Arthur can get those High Templars, he's gonna be in a great position, and he's got Storm, he's got everything in. Mamuri may have to go for a base trade here. At the same time, he's taking the bottom left-hand corner base, and
gets the High Templar. No! 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 Not... Okay, I just got mad, sorry. Go ahead.
Something terrible just happened. Something terrible just happened according to Ziphius, but...
Yeah, Mamuri's whole army passed the High Templar without killing it. It was really sad to watch. Oh, but lurkers.
Oh, there they are.
He gets lurkers so fast. Every time I get lurker, my opponent already has observers. It's really sad. Oh, he loses the High Templar, just runs into lurkers. Oh wow, Arthur with the misstep there. Not good at all.
You gotta be really careful, especially when the Archon Zealot Dragoon mix are all clumped up. Those lurkers just do so much damage, but with the kind of weird clock, both players going one direction, this does allow Mamuri to do some counterattacks on the other side of the map with his lings with these Zealots, but with these lings with these Hunters. Gotta be super careful though about Storm. Yep.
He is, and he was really smart in his third base there because Arthur had seen where the lurkers were, and then he rearranged all the lurkers. So, because a lot of times Protoss will remember where they are and then storm that position. So moving them when he's not looking is actually really clever.
I'm so nervous about these Templar. They all have like 2.5 storms.
And they all have to give a toxin in a wedding, which is really scary. So I can understand that.
And I think they're all in the same command hotkey too. Let me make sure that. Yeah. They have their own hotkey. I was going to say they're going to move.
Not a scrub Protoss. He's a okay. Anyway.
I mean, he seems to be using select all hotkey, select all army a couple times here, bro.
How dare you say something like that?
Dude, everybody uses it. What are you talking about? Maru innovation.
I don't use it.
Yeah, that's what you said. Alright, so we do have... Arthur's going to try and contest this third base, which is arguably the best defended base of Mamuri.
Nice
getting into Storm.
Not only hits the Lurker, but also gets some Hydras in that. Another Storm just to finish it off here. And it looks like Arthur's being careful. As you said, Franskar did go almost beat Mamuri, and Arthur's a little bit better than Franskar, so Arthur may be able to make it here. What? Oh, actually, Hydras are intercepting a whole bunch of Dragoons trying to get out of Arthur's base.
I love how Mamuri is so brave with his Surgeons. Like whenever I play versus Protoss, I see the big scary army just go hide in my base. But he's like out on the map doing things. He's not afraid, and it's just so good. And he's got the Scourge now. He just needs to pick up the Observer. I think he did.
He did get the Observer.
And Arthur has to get out of there. Meanwhile, Hydralisk in the natural of Arthur. He could kill a lot of workers.
Workers being pulled, that is definitely something you do not want to do. They don't trade that well, but it may be a defense here for Arthur. Currently, Arthur has lost a total of 23 workers. And finally, he'll clean it up, but there's one Lurker just for good riddance. Like, screw you, Lurker.
I was trying to block that area with the Lurker egg, and that was very, very cute. Didn't work exactly, but...
I mean, if Lurker finishes...
no. If you can burrow it, no. Meanwhile, though, Arthur still has his army at the footstep of Mamuri, and he's being quite annoying. Mamuri needs to be very careful with this.
There's still no observers here. He needs to back out. Badly.
Need to badly back out.
He does need to go on retreat here. He's got to be super, super careful. The Scourges are in the air, and they love the Dem Observers. It is actually interesting in Mamuri.
Sorry, I was just gonna. Scourges are in the air like they just don't care, but yeah. Usually they don't. Scourges just die. That's I think 90% of all Scourges that are made in Star Wars just die without ever killing anything.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
It's one of those statistics, and the Protoss players are like, oh, we feel bad for those people. Oh,
yes.
90% of all Scourges die. Oh man. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
It's like it's the one thing that Zerg has that can guilt trip a Protoss. Meanwhile, Mamuri's been sneaking out this expansion that Arthur hasn't checked because I don't think he's ever played on this map before. So that's
it's been here for forever. It's been here since like that 9-10 minute mark.
Very nice for Mamuri, but he's not really spending those minerals well though. He really needs to macro up.
I mean, you said he doesn't really enjoy queens, and I can clearly see that. Only one of his bases actually has a queen at it.
Oh, one observer goes down. Is the second one gonna? I think it went down. Yeah, second observer went down.
There's only 2 leaping Carracks in that army, no observers. So yeah.
Leaping Carracks?
Yeah, I was just my box got too big, so I got some neutral units in there.
Oh, okay.
Nice storms. And he's trying to move up this ramp though, which is very ballsy, and nope, he's not going to be able to do that.
Just a little bit too hard to move up that ramp, but now this third base may be at jeopardy. Still, there's 3 Lurkers there, and once Mamuri gets up to his Lurkers, it's so hard to break him, especially when there's 0 observers. Nice position for Arthur, but won't quite be able to make it.
Oh, it's such a fragile strategy for Zerg, relying on killing observers to win. Like the second he doesn't kill one, or he can't get to one of those observers, he's just gonna get rolled over. Like it's incredibly fragile feeling.
Another observer coming in for Arthur, and this time it may be in for Mamuri. The Scorch is there. They are so prepped to kill it, but sadly there's no... Oh, did they get the observer?
They did.
Got the observer right there, and there's still 3 Lurkers left doing a lot of damage. Dragoons are here, but they're very nice storm right on top of the Hydras. Kind of they deserved it right there, sitting on top of the Lurker, but for now, I mean, I'd love to see a little bit of a flank from Mamuri. It looks like that's what may happen here. I'd love to see the Lurkers move in Mamuri. He's got, how many at his natural base? He's got like 8 or 9. But here's a huge lane counterattack.
He did briefly see some units with the Observer, but I don't think he was paying attention. Now he sees these lings coming in, and oh my goodness, this is not good for him. Okay, there's another Observer here, but I think it's going to get picked off again. Oh!
And the thing is, like, Arthur is on a clock here. He still hasn't taken his 3rd base, so he's getting mined out. And, like, he has a good army, but he doesn't have any economy. And GG!
GG!
It's game number 1.
Whoa!